welcome. I'm the Beardbarian, and this is my good beer buddy Gille. Welcome, Gille.
Happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Happy you wanted to join us. So, especially for the occasion, we got the Cromarty Black Wood, which is supposed to be a mixture between a wee heavy and a milk stout. So it's been aged on whiskey barrels as well. And Gille, if I'm not mistaken, you're a big fan of barrel-aged beers.
I really do like me some barrel aged, yes.
Tell me, which is about your favorite kind of barrel you got?
Ooh, layely I've been drinking a lot of Lafroig barrels. Really smoky, trying to get more into the smoky beers. Wasn't really my thing, but I'm rolling into it. I had some pretty good Lafroig barrel aged. Last one, if I remember correctly, was Braveheart from the Grand Braveheart from Gille Brewery.
Alright, okay.
Quite a good one. I would recommend it.
Alright, you hear the guy, check out the beer of Gille. Now, this is not a very peated whiskey, it's a Highland whiskey, but I mean, my glass is standing here and I feel like I can smell the whiskey. I think it's quite present.
Yeah, I am a fan of Highland whiskey, so can't really go wrong.
So in the nose it's fruity, getting some plums and figs in here.
Some dried fruits, I would say.
Right, so expecting quite a fruity beer, maybe with the lactose. I hope you're not lactose intolerant.
Oh, you'll find out soon.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Definitely a nice wood profile, like the oak is definitely in there.
Quite okay.
And also getting a hint of marshmallows.
Not quite getting that just yet.
Probably a mixture of, lactose and the chocolatey malts. Also has oats in it, which makes it quite creamy. Very typical.
Yeah. Nice texture, really nice texture. Foam, quite a nice head as well.
I think it like the wee heavy, the typical Scottish style, and like the stouts. Like okay, they're both creamy, they're both chocolatey, but I think the wee heavy adds the fruity notes. Usually stouts aren't this fruity, and it has quite a bit of fruit in the aroma.
Yeah, it does fit quite well though.
Right, it's a beautiful blend, and the whiskey, Highland whiskey normally isn't. I wouldn't say Highland whiskey is really fruity, but it tops it off nicely here.
Definitely quite enjoyable. Also, the ABV is, what's it?
I think it's 6.5.
6.7, 6.5. Let me just quickly check it here. I had the page open. It's a 6.8, so...
6.8, not too heavy.
No.
Still has a lot of flavor for being this light.
Yeah, exactly. And also, as I mentioned, the texture reminds me of a beer that should be heavier in terms of alcohol percentage as well.
I think it's due to partially the oats that make it a little bit thicker, a bit smoother. Usually it's in Belgium when we have smooth beers we blame the alcohol for it. Here I think it's the oats basically.
Really nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful beer. Alright, here's the risky part. Let's rate it. I would go for 8.5 out of 10.
I would definitely go for a solid 8.
Alright.
Really good beer.
That's close enough to each other. And today is beer from Spain, Cachete. Now, do you know what Cachete means?
I was gonna guess like a hat or something, but I'm not sure.
Well, when you look at the peach, it's implied. The Spanish word Cachete means cheek.
Cheek. Oh, all right. Oh, cheeky.
So it's basically it looks like a peach, but he's carrying around a giant ass.
Right.
So let's hope it doesn't taste like shit. It's supposed to be very peachy. Weiss beer from Germany is usually quite wheaty, has quite a sharp finish, and should have a banana-like smell. Though I'm very curious if we will still have banana smell if there's so much peach in it.
No, I think the peach will be quite overwhelming. I must say I'm not the biggest fan of Weiss beers. The aftertaste that you just mentioned is not just quite for me, so I'm hoping that the peachiness of the beer is going to mask the aftertaste of the Weiss beer.
Well, let's hope so as well. It has 5.8%, so I'm not expecting an alcohol burn. And it says, natural peach flavors. Well, I don't believe for 1 second they're actually using fruit, probably juice. Usually if they use real fruits you will taste tannins. Tannins are a little bit puckery, like tea that's been around for too long. So let's have a sip, shall we? my bottle opener doesn't seem too happy. Yeah, it's cracking. Okay,
I can already smell it from here.
peach.
Yeah,
Holy fuck.
really peachy.
Shit, I said fuck. So now children can't watch my beer videos anymore.
Demonetized.
Right? Oh yeah, that's
Very, very peachy.
it's really like peach sherbet. God, it's gonna be really like fruit juice.
Well, bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
Cheers.
It's sharper than you would expect.
There's a hint of sourness in there as well.
Alright, so definitely the wheat has quite a punch, but the banana is in there as well. So definitely a lot of yeast. I believe from the bottle it said they used the Bavarian yeast, so that's German. It's very typical for Weissbier.
Yeah, it still has the typical Weissbier aftertaste that I was trying to describe earlier. So not the biggest fan of that, but the initial taste is very quite sweet. A little bit of sourness into it. Like the initial taste is really nice.
I'm also getting some almond, which is not too good if you think about the combination of peach and almond. The only element about the peach that tastes like almond is like the stone in the center, which contains cyanide.
Always fun. Wouldn't that mean that there is a chance that they were using real fruit, or are you?
There is. I think I'm also like getting like the smell of the skin, like a little bit of tannins, which could be from the wheat, but perhaps they did actually get the skin. It's quite astringent.
Is that also why there is a bit of the sourness in there? Or?
Well, usually in regular white beers, the sourness comes purely from the wheat, but here I think it might actually be the skin of the fruit we're tasting. It dries out your tongue. It dries out your tongue massively, which I really associate with having that feeling when you eat a peach, like the skin sliding over your tongue can feel quite dry, fuzzy. So yeah, it's not only is it an ass, it's a hairy ass.
It's a hairy ass. All in all, though, as I said, initial taste really quite good. It's just the aftertaste that is not really quite for me.
It's definitely an interesting experiment. Like I wouldn't say
I have not tasted this in a Weissbier before, so it's quite unique in that sense as well.
Yeah, I mean they tried. It's not entirely bad. Would I try it personally in my brewery? I don't think so. It's not a flavor I would be aiming for.
Wouldn't be one I'm very interested in trying to recreate, but this would definitely be a nice beer on a summer terrace, some nice weather.
Hi.
Quite refreshing.
Yeah, I think the box was recommending it with fish.
Yes.
Yeah. I can kind of see why, but
seafood salad is what they mentioned.
Yeah, I can kind of see why. I think it would pair nice with saltiness, but then again, I think it would be really good with goat cheese and bacon.
I'm not one for cheese, so will not comment on that. But as I said, this would be a nice starter on a really hot sunny evening.
Definitely. Could pour some vodka in there.
Why not?
So, the moment people have been waiting for, what do we rate this one?
Well, considering it is a Weissbier and the aftertaste is not really my thing, I would still give this a good 7.
Okay, I was going somewhere between 6.8 and 6.9. But yeah, 7 is definitely something I can be behind.
Let's round up.
Yeah, but definitely cheers to the brewery for trying this. It is definitely, I'd say it's a beer that will attract people who love fruit beers. But then again, most people who like these really commercial fruit beers purely go for sweetness, and this beer is definitely not sweet.
Except for the initial taste. There is some sweetness at the front, but once you swallow it down, the aftertaste is almost purely Weissbier.
Yeah, it's more in the smell, the sweetness, and actually in the flavor.
But the smell is really, really good though.
Like, purely based off of smell, I would throw it away. The flavor and, like, again, the flavor after the smell kind of makes it more interesting, less one-dimensional. It's not a one-dimensional beer at all, which is really great for making fruit beer. There's too many fruit beers out there who are really one-dimensional. It's not lemonade, so it's better than lemonade.
Yeah, sometimes you're just almost drinking liquid sugar. which is not really something you would want. But this, I think, this is a nice balance.
Definitely. Give me a nice beer. Cheers to the brewer, and cheers to you, viewer. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment, of course, what kind of beer that you would like to see in one of the next videos. Thank you very much, and cheerios. Cheers.